सत श्री अकाल, नमस्कार, आदाब दोस्तों। स्वागत है आप सबका रेडियो पंजाब के शो सांझे विचार में। मैं हूं आपकी होस्ट और दोस्त आरजे दिव्या। दोस्तों, 15 सितंबर और स्टूडियो की घड़ी में इस वक्त बज रहे हैं 12:15। कैसे हैं आप सब? आशा करती हूँ कि आप सब जहाँ से भी हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, हमें रेडियो पर सुन रहे हैं और फेसबुक के जितने भी दर्शक हैं जो हमें देख रहे हैं, सबसे पहले तो आप सबको वार्म वेलकम। और आशा करती हूँ कि आप जहाँ भी हैं ठीक हैं, स्वस्थ हैं, खुश हैं और अपने जीवन में एंजॉय कर रहे हैं। दोस्तों, एक बार फिर हाजिर हूँ सांझे विचार शो लेकर। जैसे कल हमारे साथ एक गेस्ट थे, आज भी हमारे साथ एक स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं। फ़ोन लाइन पर वो हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। उनका इंट्रोडक्शन ज़रूर दूंगी, लेकिन सबसे पहले थोड़ी सी बात करना चाहेंगे। दोस्तों, आज की डेट में बच्चे, बूढ़े या जवान कोई भी हों, कोई ना कोई शरीर का रोग लगा ही रहता है। किसी से भी बात करें तो कोई कहता है यार कमर में बड़ा दर्द है, कोई कहता है सर में बहुत दर्द होता है, कोई कहता है यार आईसाइट बहुत वीक हो रही है, किसी को घुटनों का दर्द है। बहुत तरीके की शरीर की परेशानियां हैं, बीमारियां हैं जिससे हम सब, किसी भी उम्र के हों, हम सब जूझ रहे हैं। कई परेशानियों के लिए हम अपने फैमिली डॉक्टर या फिजिशियन के पास भागते हुए जाते हैं, दवाई लेते हैं और ठीक भी हो जाते हैं। पर कई ऐसी परेशानियां भी होती हैं जो फिजिशियंस को भी समझ नहीं आती। उन्हें नहीं पता लगता कि इसका क्या इलाज हो सकता है। दवाइयों से ठीक ही नहीं किया जा सकता। ऐसी कुछ फिजिकल इंजरीज, ऐसी पेन्स भी होती हैं जो सिर्फ एक कायरोप्रैक्टर ही ठीक कर सकता है। लेकिन सवाल अब ये उठता है कि एक कॉमन मैन लैंग्वेज में देखा जाए तो हम में, आप में और मुझ में, हम में कितने लोगों को कायरोप्रैक्टिस ट्रीटमेंट के बारे में पूरी जानकारी है या कुछ भी पता है? बहुत सी ऐसी मिस इन्फॉर्मेशंस हैं, मिथ्स हैं और काफ़ी कुछ हम लोग नहीं जानते। इसीलिए जब एक कायरोप्रैक्टिक के पास कंसल्ट करने जाना होता है तो उससे पहले हम बहुत सोचते हैं और कई बार हमें पता ही नहीं होता कि हमें उनसे बात क्या करनी है, उनसे क्या डिस्कस करें। तो ऐसे ही कुछ मिथ्स हैं, कुछ मिस इन्फॉर्मेशंस हैं और बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जिनके बारे में आज बात होगी, क्योंकि आज हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में है डॉक्टर जैस वालिया। कायरोप्रैक्टिक एंड ऑटो एक्सीडेंट इंजरी केयर में माहिर हैं वो, और वो हमारे साथ आज लाइन पर हैं। उनसे बातचीत करेंगे, कुछ ऐसे जेनरिक सवाल पूछेंगे जिससे बहुत सारे लोग जो हमें सुन रहे हैं, जिनको कायरोप्रैक्टिस के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा नॉलेज नहीं है, एक जनरल नॉलेज आज उनसे लेने की कोशिश करेंगे। कुछ मुद्दों के बारे में बातचीत भी करेंगे। तो आइए वेलकम करते हैं डॉक्टर जैस वालिया को। डॉक्टर, वेलकम टू द स्टूडियो। Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Hi, doctor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for taking out time today and doing this special interview with us.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
Yeah. So, doctor, like I was telling in my introduction, there are a lot of myths and miscommunication and misinformation regarding chiropractic. So, we're going to talk about those things. We'll give our listeners a generic idea about what exactly is chiropractic. To be honest with you, there are a lot of things which I also don't know. So, I'm going to ask you a lot of my personal questions as well.
That's what usually happens. I think everybody has questions. So, we're here to help.
Yeah, right. So we'll start with, first of all, doctor, do tell us in detail about your area of practice and what kind of education and training do chiropractors they have?
Okay. So I'll start off with the education.
Right.
First of all. So chiropractors are like medical doctors in their training. They have to finish high school. Then they have to go to university.
Okay.
They get usually a degree in sciences.
Right.
And then they apply to chiropractic school. So they've done 3-4 years in university, and then you apply to a school, and then that usually takes another 3-4 years. So the education is very similar. When you go to chiropractic school, and med school, usually your first year is the same, maybe even into the second year. And then what happens, like if you go to a medical doctor, you can go to a medical doctor and tell them anything, right? You can go, oh, my stomach hurts, oh, I have, they help with diabetes, they help with, everything, because they know about everything.
Yeah.
So they get training in everything, but they don't get specialized training in everything, right? They get a little bit of knowledge in everything. So what chiropractors do is they take one part of the medical training, which is called musculoskeletal training. And we spent most of our education focusing on that. So that's the muscles, that's the bones, that's the nerves, that's the motion of the spine, how the spine works. So our training is very advanced in that. But if you come to us and you're pregnant, we're not going to be able to really tell you a whole lot because we don't really have much training in that. So that is the difference. So when you go to a medical doctor, they pretty much recognize, oh, this is a musculoskeletal problem. And then what they do is they will refer you out to where they feel is best for you. So education-wise, that's what the difference is. So they get, I think the latest studies show that they get about 10% of the musculoskeletal training that chiropractors get, and then that's basically what the education is.
Right.
So the next part of the question is, what is chiropractic? What do you guys do? How does it help people? And I could talk about this for a very long time in depth, but I am going to give a basic explanation, and then Divya, we can talk about others if we need to.
Definitely.
Oftentimes when I do these shows, we get lots of calls afterwards with questions from the whole West Coast. So we will give the audience a number to call if they have any questions to the hotline a little later. But I'll keep it basic for now. So the chiropractic focuses on the spine, the movement of the spine. The people get pain and muscle problems is generated from the nerves. So the nerves get pinched, compressed. They don't work right when the spine is not moving. So just imagine a spine kind of turning a little bit and maybe pinching the nerve.
Right.
So the only real way to correct the pain is to take pressure off the nerve. So that's what chiropractic does. Now, the nerve controls muscle too, but the problem is coming from the spine. So we often get patients come in and say, "Doctor, I tried massage, I tried physiotherapy. The problem feels a little bit better, but the pain always comes back. Why does it come back? I take medicine, but then a few days later, it's never 100%."
Right.
So after we do our in-depth evaluation and we usually study the back a little, we find that the problem is coming from the spine. So what we do is we figure out where in the spine there is, we call it biomechanical aberrations, which basically means, abnormal movement in the spine.
Right.
And when we find that out, we can go in there and correct it. We use a very gentle technique, but when you talk to certain chiropractors, they'll go in there and really push, and you'll hear cracking, and it just depends on what responds best for the patient. So,
right.
I hope I didn't go off on a tangent.
No, not at all. But there are a lot of other questions which have come up in my mind. First of all, the basic confusion which people usually have. What exactly is the difference between a chiropractor and a physiotherapist? Because I think there's a very thin line. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, physiotherapists, okay, they pretty much focus on muscles, okay, and muscle balances. They're great for elbow problems and shoulder problems and knee problems. But when it comes to the spine, you have to look at each individual segment, right? Because you have neck bones, you have mid back bones, you have low back bones. There's there's over 30 bone spinal vertebrae, right? So you have to figure out where the actual problem is coming from, okay? And then here's where the difference is. The movement in the spine is done by the chiropractor. The stretching of the muscle the strengthening of the muscle is done by the physiotherapist. Now, this is typical, okay? This is not every single one, but that's what typically happens. So, I'll give you. This is what I tell patients that have the same question.
Right.
You know, if you take your arm and you hurt your arm, okay, and you can't bend your arm all the way up, are you going to make it strong in half of the motion, or are you going to work on getting the full range and then making it strong? Right?
Right.
So the chiropractic will get the full range in the joint, and then the physiotherapist comes in and balances the muscles out, makes it strong, does exercises, does stretches, and
Right.
teaches you how to maintain it, and so you don't have problems later on.
Right. Doctor, do tell us that a chiropractor, do they only deal with the spinal injuries or problems? Or what all conditions can a chiropractor helps with physically?
You know, it depends on the chiropractor you speak with. It's like in every profession, certain people are trained in different techniques. Some people have advanced degrees. Some people, think that they can help certain things. But the basic thing is headaches, neck pain, mid-back pain, low back pain. Then the auto injuries, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on, is
Right.
what we specialize in. And then shoulder pain, elbow pain, wrists, knees, ankles, anything that is coming from the musculoskeletal system,
Right.
a chiropractor can help with. So if your
Okay.
leg muscle is tight and it's compressing your knee, well, a chiropractor may be able to help. But I would say it's safe to say that for most musculoskeletal spinal problems, a chiropractor would be a very good choice.
Okay. Doctor, also, a lot of people would want to know what exactly is the difference between a chiropractic and medicine as a physician.
Yeah, sure. So, we talked about that a little before. So, other than the slight educational differences,
Yeah.
it's basically the technique. So, medicine will prescribe medication often. So if somebody has low back pain or neck pain, headache, they go in. The typical medical doctor with, we talked about the minimal musculoskeletal training, won't really know what to do. So they
Right.
may say, here, take these Golia, take medicine, get better. It should just go away by itself. So they're not really sure on how to deal with that.
Yeah, and
Some of them,
they are not also equipped, and they have not, professionally studied the chiro treatments.
no, they can't do the chiropractic treatment. I mean, they could do it if they took advanced training, but
Right.
the general physician, and that's what we're talking about, just the general GPs
Yes.
and the PCPs. They know everything. They know about everything. You go in there and they can diagnose and kind of tell you what to do, but that's as far as they can take it. So
Right.
when we talk about neck pain and back pain, it's great to go to them, go check in with them. But they're not, from my experience, most of them, they don't know how to diagnose accurately what is going on in the spine.
Right.
And then what to do after that. So if you go, and I'll tell you a typical case.
Doctor, sorry, I have to cut you short here. We have a break coming in. So what
Okay.
I'm going to do is I will reconnect with you after the break.
Okay, sounds good.
ओके थैंक यू सो मच डॉक्टर, थैंक यू। दोस्तों, एक छोटी सी ब्रेक का समय हो गया। डॉक्टर से बात करते करते पता ही नहीं चला, लेकिन आप लोग कहीं मत जाइए। डॉक्टर से हम और भी बहुत सारे सवाल पूछेंगे बैक पेन, नेक पेन के बारे में, पर आप हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए। मैं एक छोटी सी ब्रेक के बाद लौटती हूँ।
दोस्तों एक बार फिर आप सभी का स्वागत है शो सांझे विचार में। आज हमारे साथ स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं डॉक्टर जैस वालिया, कायरोप्रैक्टर हैं वो, और उन्होंने हमें बताया कि उनकी पढ़ाई और एक नॉर्मल फिजिशियन की जो पढ़ाई है उसमें ज़्यादा कुछ फ़र्क शुरुआत में नहीं होता। उनकी भी पढ़ाई उतनी ही लंबी है जितनी एक नॉर्मल डॉक्टर जो होते हैं वो करते हैं। शुरुआत में सबकी एक जेनरिक फर्स्ट ईयर सेकेंड ईयर होता है, उसके बाद एक पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में स्पेशलाइजेशन होती है, और डॉक्टर जैस वालिया ने कायरोप्रैक्टिक में आगे अपनी पढ़ाई पूरी की। और उन्होंने हमें कैसे एक फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट और कायरोप्रैक्टिक में क्या फ़र्क होता है इसके बारे में भी बताया। और अब वो हमें बता रहे थे कि एक मेडिसिन और कायरो ट्रीटमेंट के बीच में अंतर क्या होता है। आइए उनसे दोबारा बात करें। या डॉक्टर, वेलकम बैक.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. So we were talking about the typical patient.
Right.
The typical. So, like, you know, my grandma, my dad, they go to the doctor and they go, "Oh, my back hurts. You know, I have a headache." You know, they get take some medicine. You know, it helps when they take the medicine. They go back and they go, "Oh, you know what? Maybe keep taking it. It should go away. If it doesn't go away, then maybe they will." You know, they don't know what to do. That's what always kind of happens.
Right.
And that's so they may say go do physio, go do chiropractic, but they're not really sure. They're just finding things to tell the patient on what to do. Right? They're not really looking at.
They will probably prescribe a painkiller.
Yeah, and then after a while, those painkillers are not good for your body. Right? They just lead to another problem. So we've had such great success with these types of conditions, and when we start getting into what happens to the body during whiplash and an auto accident, because now you have trauma, right? You have a force that is injuring your ligaments.
So, doctor, you are trying to say that having a lot of painkillers is also not good for the body?
No. I mean, research. If you take a lot of painkillers, it stresses your kidneys, it stresses your liver.
Right.
It's not natural, right? So if you do that a lot, it leads to problems later on.
Because we have a tendency, whenever there's a headache or backache, we just quickly go and grab our painkiller, and we just forget about it. So that should not happen.
No, well, I mean, and I know, I see it all the time. If you want to figure out the root cause of the problem, you have to get it properly assessed. So it could be because you're missing some nutrients. So maybe you need to add some food to your diet. It could be because you're not stretching. It could be because you're sitting at the computer. Now in Seattle with COVID, you have Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Amazon, everybody sitting at home on the computer, working from home in bad posture. So this could be the problem. Maybe you need to change your workstation. Maybe you need to stretch. Maybe you need to go out for a walk. Lots of people stopped exercising for a while. So you have to investigate to figure out why you have the pain, right?
Right.
And then you have to figure out how to fix it. So that's one way of doing it, which takes more effort, because our bodies have the ability to heal, right? They just have to have the problems taken away. So we have to figure out what the problems are. Or the other way is just to take medicine, right?
Right. Doctor, is chiropractic treatment safe to go for?
Yeah, it's actually very safe. There's an article that came out, I think, from Harvard or Yale, and it said it is a quite safe treatment. Now, of course, there is risk with everything, so you have to make sure that you go to a good chiropractor, make sure that everything is ruled out. But the technique we use. We're very gentle. There's very, very, very little risk. You might get a little sore after a treatment, and that's just because your joints are used to
your body
position,
is adapting to the new technique.
Yeah.
Okay.
You seem to know a lot about it already.
I just know the general terms. Doctor, I'm intrigued to ask this. Why did you decide to be a chiropractor?
I had a couple of injuries that were not being helped.
Okay.
And then when I went to a chiropractor, it was amazing. Within just 1-2 treatments, the whole problem went away.
So you got inspired. You got inspired by another chiropractor. That's great.
Yeah. And then I wanted to do something that was, not medicine. Like I wanted to teach people about the body. I wanted to teach them how to take care of themselves. So it's a little bit more of a active approach.
That's great. And you treat patients of all ages?
Yes. So there's babies all the way until, the elderly.
Oh, children as well. Because, they are physically very active. They a lot of time experience injuries from the activities they do. So this treatment is actually appropriate for kids too, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Kids,
okay.
I find kids heal much quicker. They don't need a lot of treatment, but you have to think about it, right? Like if I'm at the playground and I'm swinging on a swing and I fall down, I'm gonna hurt myself, right? But we see kids do this all the time, but we don't really notice. We're just like, oh, they'll heal. But sometimes it can affect things. So it's always good to listen to the kids because they don't complain, but when they do, there's usually something wrong.
Okay. I also have a 4-year-old. Now I know if he hurts himself somewhere, where do I have to go? Doctor, a lot of people want to know how much time does a treatment usually takes if it's a kid or young adults? I mean, is it an ongoing process? Sometimes it takes only 1 or 2 sittings. How does it go?
Yeah, it really depends on what you're coming in for, how long you've had it for, and what your goals are. So, for example, I was just talking to a medical doctor this weekend. We were having a coffee, and I was giving him some research studies. And he's a runner. He does triathlon. So he comes in and gets treated, whenever he feels like he needs it.
Right.
And we were talking about this question. So if somebody goes on a jog and all of a sudden their hip joint starts hurting, they need one treatment.
Okay.
But if somebody's had headaches for 5 years, they're going to need more treatment because you have to retrain the spine, retrain everything. So it really depends on what somebody is coming in from.
Right. Okay. Okay, doctor. Let's move on to a more common problem that people of all age are facing right now, which is back pain. What exactly causes back pain? Because there is no proper explanation for it. I mean, as far as common man knows, we have no idea. So what exactly is the reason for back pain?
Oh, that's a very good and tough question because you're putting me on the spot. There could be many, many reasons for back pain. Okay?
Right.
I think the better question is, what is the reason for back pain that nobody knows why there is back pain?
Yeah, maybe we can put it like this. Yeah.
Right. Because if you go and you fall down and you hurt your back, you hurt yourself by falling.
So basically, all I wanted to know was, a lot of people have back pain. When exactly do I need to see a professional for a back pain? I mean, when do I know? Yeah, exactly. When exactly do I have to go to a professional or to a chiropractor?
Sure. So it depends. Okay. So here's what happens in society nowadays.
Yeah.
Most people will not go do anything until it affects something they love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, Divya, if you're sitting there and doing an interview and your back is tight right now,
right,
you probably won't do anything. But if you go home and you bend down to pick your 4-year-old up and your back hurts and you can't, is it a daughter or son?
I have a son.
Yeah. You lift your son up and you can't pick him up anymore and he's crying, then you're going to go get it looked at, right?
Right.
So it depends on, typically that's what happens. In my opinion, when you feel any sort of symptoms, your body is telling you a signal, right? Our bodies are really smart. If we cut ourselves, we automatically heal. We don't have to do anything. So when you start feeling something, that means the body is saying, there's something going on here, so I'm going to tighten up for you. If you choose to go do something, that's your choice, right? And if you don't, maybe it'll go away. The next time it comes, it might be worse, and it might last longer. So the body gives you signals. It's just whether we listen to our body or not.
Right. And how do you treat it medically in chiropractic?
So what we would do is when somebody comes in, they go through a full evaluation. We check if your low back hurting, we're checking your whole spine. It's all connected and it's all related. And then we figure out, and we do orthopedic tests, we do nerve tests, we do motion tests, and we do strength tests, and then we evaluate the spine. We see where there is areas that are not moving, where it's twisted. We have some very advanced diagnostic equipment that also shows us how your muscles are working, where they're working too much, where they're working too little. And then we look at it all, and we go, okay, here's where the problem is. This is what you need treatment for. Then we go in and we treat it. And we get some stretches to do, some exercises to do, and then we usually have you come back within the week to see how you did. And again, it depends what the case is, and then we kind of follow a plan to get you better.
Okay. And also, doctor, does any of your treatment, do you ever prescribe any kind of medicine or no medicine at all?
So chiropractors cannot prescribe medicine.
Okay.
It is not in our scope. So we never prescribe medicine. If we feel somebody is in a lot of pain and they need it, we usually have them go somewhere to see if they qualify for it. But our typical thing is go ahead and put ice on it, or have some supplements, things like that.
Okay. And when we are talking about back pain, so back pain is different from neck pain and lower back pain, or does it lower back pain comes under the back pain only category?
No, it's just the area of your spine, right? So different areas are more prone to being injured with different activities.
Right.
So your neck, if you're at a computer for a long time, or if you get whiplash, your low back, if you sit a lot, or you bend down to pick something up. So it's usually the mechanism is the same. Like what's happening in the body is the same thing. It's just in a different region.
Okay, all right. Doctor, you are talking about whiplash. What exactly is whiplash? A lot of people out there don't know this word. So can you please explain a bit what exactly is whiplash and what kind of injuries happen with it?
Sure. So whiplash is pretty much a rapid movement of your head forward and back. So most commonly it happens in a car accident. Okay, so if you're sitting there and you're, say, parked and somebody comes back and rear ends you and your head goes back and then it whips forward really, really fast. It happens less than a second. So your muscles, your ligaments, all the protection that protects your bone and your spine, they don't have time to protect as well as they should.
Right.
So they end up getting injured. They end up getting too stretched out. So that is typically what happens in whiplash. Now, you can get it in different things too, right? Like if you bump your head or if you fall back and you whip. But most commonly, it is from the auto injury.
Right. So sudden jerk to your neck or back.
Yes.
Happens through whiplash or any kind of auto injury.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is one of the reasons that we started this hotline a year ago. Is because there's 1 in 10 people. This is science, okay? So we're all about science and research.
Right.
There's 1 in 10 people that are walking outside right now with an injury, currently from an accident or from one that happened before that they didn't properly take care of.
Right.
I have been in 2 accidents, so I know. Okay, I did not properly take care of it, and I get issues. roughly about once a year, twice a year that are really bad. I actually may have to miss work for them once in a while.
Okay.
And it's because I know it's because for my neck, and I know it's because I didn't do the proper care because I was young. And now science is starting to show that. And I haven't told you this, but one other thing we've done is we've started a research institute.
Okay.
To do more research on this stuff too. So we're doing that out of Seattle as well. Yeah.
Doctor, I was just thinking this neck and lower back pain is as common as flu right now. Lot of people have it. And sometimes it happens and we just sit on it. We don't do anything about it because we are like, okay, we are busy in our lives. It's just a normal pain. Why to bother about it? There are a lot of people who are listening to us. They don't even know. Maybe they are also sitting at home having these pains, but they don't know, when exactly to go for a professional help, especially for neck and lower back pain. So what would you like to tell those people because they still don't know that they need professional help?
Yeah, I think that if you don't feel right and you feel like you're slower because there's something hurting or something that's bothering you, I think that you should get checked out. It doesn't hurt to go and get an evaluation, right?
Right.
The best thing they're going to tell you is, okay, it's okay, you're good, we'll do these stretches and call me when you need it. It's when you let it go too far and you're in too much pain that you need to do lots of treatment to get better. So if you're not feeling right, go get checked out. You don't have to be hurting, you don't have to be in severe pain and to go get an evaluation. You can just go and I want to check to see how the doctor doing.
Yeah. Okay. Doctor, there are 2-3 other questions that I would like to ask you and I want you to tell people about those, but we have another short break coming our way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reconnect with you after a few minutes. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll be calling you back soon. Thank you. दोस्तों हमारे साथ डॉक्टर हैं, वो बहुत सारे सवालों के जवाब दे रहे हैं, उनसे बात हो रही है. मैं आपको थोड़ा बहुत बताना चाहूँगी कि क्या एग्जैक्टली वो कहना चाह रहे हैं. पहली बात तो वो कोई मेडिसिन अपने इलाज के साथ नहीं देते, ना वो दे सकते हैं, वो प्रिस्क्राइब नहीं कर सकते, पर वो आपको अगर बहुत ज़्यादा पेन में अगर आप हैं तो आपको पेन किलर वो बता सकते हैं, बट यू विल हैव टू कंसल्ट योर फैमिली डॉक्टर, योर फिजिशियन. उसके अलावा कायरोप्रैक्टर जो है वो स्पेसिफिकली आपकी स्पाइन, जो स्पाइनल कॉर्ड है, वहाँ कहीं पे अगर आपको पेन है और किसी तरीके की मूवमेंट में प्रॉब्लम है तो एक कायरोप्रैक्टर आपको ज़्यादा मदद कर पाएगा एक फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट से. चाहे वो गर्दन का दर्द हो, चाहे वो लोअर बैक का पेन हो, या पूरी बैक में ही. बहुत लोग हैं, हम लोग प्रोफेशनल्स भी हैं जो सारा दिन दफ्तरों में बैठे रहते हैं. हमारी मम्मी पापा हैं ओल्ड एज में भी या अपने 50s में जाके उन्हें बहुत ज़्यादा जो बैक पेन हो जाता है. तो अगर आपको लगता है कि आप को इतना बैक पेन का प्रॉब्लम है जो ऐसे ठीक नहीं हो पा रहा, तो आपको एक कायरोप्रैक्टर को दिखाने की ज़रूरत है, एक इवैल्यूएशन कराने की ज़रूरत है कि एग्जैक्टली प्रॉब्लम का जड़ कहाँ है, क्या है. और ये जो कायरोप्रैक्टर हैं सिर्फ बूढ़ों के लिए नहीं, हमारे जवान जो कैटेगरी के लोग हैं और यंगस्टर्स को भी अगर कहीं पे किसी स्पोर्ट्स खेलते हुए या बाइक चलाते हुए या गाड़ी में कोई आपको इंजरी हो जाती है या किसी तरीके का, लोग कहते हैं ना पीठ में वल पड़ गया, तो इस तरीके की प्रॉब्लम होती है तो भी आप जाकर कायरोप्रैक्टर को दिखा सकते हैं. इनफैक्ट उनका कहना है कि बच्चे जब खेलते हैं, गिरते हैं, उन्हें चोट लग जाती है, अगर उन्हें भी फिजिकल इंजरी कोई आती है तो आप जाके कायरोप्रैक्टर से कंसल्ट कर सकते हैं. दोस्तों इस पर थोड़ी सी बातचीत और करेंगे. एक छोटी सी ब्रेक है, ब्रेक के बाद मैं लौटूंगी. आप कहीं मत जाइए, सुनते रहिए रेडियो पंजाब.
संग दिल दी उमंग सब दे है संग रेडियो पंजाब
हर समय ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਪੰਜਾਬ।
दोस्तों एक बार फिर से आप सभी का स्वागत है सांझे विचार शो में। मेरे यानी आरजे दिव्या के साथ हमारे साथ स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं डॉक्टर जैस वालिया। और आप में से कुछ लोगों की कॉल्स आई थी, उन्होंने कहा था कि शो हिंदी या पंजाबी में होना चाहिए। बिल्कुल आपकी बात से मैं बिल्कुल वाकिफ़ हूँ और बिल्कुल अग्री करती हूँ। और कई बार हमारे पास ऐसे गेस्ट होते हैं जिनकी साथ इंटरव्यू हम डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज में करते हैं, पर मेरी पूरी कोशिश रहेगी कि डॉक्टर ने आज इस शो में जो जो चीज़ें बताई हैं वो सारी चीज़ें दोबारा मैं हिंदी में दोहराऊँ। लेकिन फ़िलहाल क्वेश्चन के बीच में उनसे एक दो और सवाल हैं वो पूछेंगे और उसके बाद इस इंटरव्यू को समाप्त करेंगे। और उसके बाद मैं आप सबके जो सारे क्वेरीज़ हैं जो आप हिंदी में जानना चाह रहे थे, जो डॉक्टर जी ने हमें बताया, वो मैं आपको दोबारा दोहरा कर ज़रूर बताऊँगी। दोस्तों आइए डॉक्टर साहब से एक बार फिर बात करते हैं। डॉक्टर वेलकम बैक।
Welcome. Hi.
Hi. So we were before break we were talking about the evaluation of pain. How if somebody is suffering from a back pain or lower back pain, they should definitely visit a chiropractor and get their pain evaluated. But honestly, due to corona and this pandemic thing, I know there are a lot of people who are a bit scared to go out over to the clinics. Do you have any contact number or a hotline number where people can call you regarding their queries?
Yes. It's so this is the injury hotline number. So what we've done is we have put together trauma qualified advanced training physicians, and I've managed it all, and you basically call this number, and if there's nobody there, they call you within an hour or two, and they answer. It's for information, so it's just talking to you, seeing what's going on, giving you advice if they can.
Right.
But the number is 206-497-8400.
Okay. 206-497-8400.
Yeah. And that goes directly to the injury hotline. And you will be able to talk to somebody within 1 to 2 hours. And just if there's any questions, anything like you were saying, people don't know when to go, right? Well, they could help you. And I know that I gave a bunch of answers, but if somebody is not sure, just call and they can chat. Yeah, that's great.
मैं एक्चुअली लिसनर्स को बताना चाहूँगी कि डॉक्टर साहब ने एक हॉटलाइन नंबर दिया है 206-497-8400। अगर आपके कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं, कोई बैक पेन, लोअर बैक पेन, नेक पेन या किसी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ है और किसी तरीके की पेन है आपके शरीर में और कोई इंजरी हुई है, तो आप इस हॉटलाइन नंबर पे कॉल करके उनसे कभी भी कंसल्टेशन ले सकते हैं, बात कर सकते हैं। नंबर है 206-497-8400। इस शो के बाद आप उन्हें कॉल कर सकते हैं। अगर आपने नंबर किसी वजह से आप नहीं लिख पाए हैं तो आप हमें कॉल करके भी दोबारा पूछ सकते हैं। Doctor, just one query, because a lot of our listeners, they are more comfortable in Hindi and Punjabi. So would they be able to communicate? Do you have any Hindi and Punjabi speaking staff at your center?
Yes, we'll be able to communicate. I speak Punjabi.
Okay.
And understand some Hindi.
Okay.
So it has never been an issue.
Oh, great. So can you convey your hotline number and all the information, how to connect with you in Punjabi once?
Yeah, so 206-497-8400. And we can, it'll directly go to the hotline. Somebody will answer, and, if there is any language issues, then we will get the appropriate person to call them back.
Okay. We are near to the end of this interview. Just 2-3 common questions which I had in my mind. Doctor, if somebody really wants to know what are the major benefits of chiropractic care, how would you, in pointers, how would you tell?
So you can restore spinal mobility.
Okay.
Basically, what research is showing is that the spine gets arthritis because it has extra stress on it because it's not moving well. And what this does, it causes discs, and we'll talk about this in future shows.
Sure,
discs discs get herniated, bulging discs, and once that happens, it's really hard to reverse. So chiropractic helps to prevent all of this from happening.
Okay, and when we talked about neck pain, does a chiropractic also treat cervical and migraine?
Yes. Migraines have many different reasons, causes. So in the evaluation, it would be evaluated on what the cause would be. And you just have to remember that the nerves control everything in our body. And what chiropractic is doing is that it's directly affecting the nerves and allowing them to do their job. And once the nerves can do their job, the body is able to decrease pain and symptoms.
Okay, and disc displacement. A lot of people in their 50s and 55, 60s, younger people as well, they sometimes suffer disc displacement. Does it also come under the treatment?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. A lot of disc injuries are missed. We diagnose lots of disc injuries in our office that others have missed just because they don't look for the right signs, and you have to really order an MRI to see the disc. Okay. But there's many things that we can do for discs.
Okay, great. Doctor, one last question. Does a chiropractic treatment requires a referral form from a physician or your family doctor?
No. I mean, I don't know. So in Seattle, it does not.
Okay.
I'm not sure. So in Washington State, I don't know how it is in other places.
Okay.
But we don't require one at all. No.
Right. Okay. All right. So, Doctor, thank you so much for taking out this much of time. And we have actually talked about today back pain specifically, and but we are surely going to reconnect over auto injury and whiplash. And I'm sure a lot of people must have been. I got a lot of my doubts got clear today. So I hope this interview would help a lot of people out there.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. And once again, I'm going to announce the hotline number. So hopefully people will connect with you on the phone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Doctor.
Bye.
दोस्तों, बहुत सारे सवाल और भी थे, लेकिन लेट्स टेक वन स्टेप एट अ टाइम. एक टाइम पर एक चीज़ के बारे में बात हो तो ज़्यादा क्लैरिटी रहती है. आज हमने बात की बैक पेन के बारे में और नेक पेन, लोअर बैक पेन. डॉक्टर ने ये भी कहा है कि अगर आपको माइग्रेन की प्रॉब्लम है या स्लिप डिस्क हो जाता है, कई लोगों को स्पॉन्डिलाइटिस हो जाता है, तो उसका भी इवैल्यूएशन जो है वो करते हैं कायरोप्रैक्टिक डॉक्टर्स. एंड दे आर एक्चुअली डॉक्टर्स. वो डॉक्टर्स हैं और उन्होंने अपना हॉटलाइन नंबर भी हमें दिया है. अगर आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं, सियाटल में हैं या कहीं पे भी हैं, तो आप उनको हॉटलाइन नंबर पे कॉल करके अपनी प्रॉब्लम बता सकते हैं. उनका नंबर है 206-497-8400. और इतना ही नहीं, अगर आप थोड़े से भी अनकंफर्टेबल हैं और पंजाबी या हिंदी में बात करना चाहते हैं, तो डॉक्टर साहब पंजाबी में भी बात कर सकते हैं. उनके पास स्टाफ है जो हिंदी और पंजाबी में आपसे कम्युनिकेट करेंगे और आपकी जो प्रॉब्लम है उसका सल्यूशन आपको बताएंगे. प्रॉपर कंसल्टेशन दी जाएगी. तो आप उन्हें कॉल कर सकते हैं बेझिझक और अपनी सारी प्रॉब्लम बता सकते हैं. दोस्तों, टाइम हो रहा है एक छोटी सी ब्रेक का. ब्रेक के बाद लौटेंगे. थोड़ा बहुत मैं आपको और बताऊंगी कि डॉक्टर साहब ने आज अपनी इंटरव्यू में क्या कुछ बताया है, थोड़ी और क्लैरिटी. इनफैक्ट मैं सच बताऊं, मुझे भी इस इंटरव्यू से पहले, इस इंटरव्यू की रिसर्च से पहले कायरोप्रैक्टिस के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं पता था, लेकिन नाउ आई हैव अ बेटर आइडिया। दोस्तों, एक छोटी सी ब्रेक के बाद लौटेंगे, इस बारे में थोड़ी सी और बात करेंगे, आप कहीं मत जाइए।
beat, yeah.